Hi, welcome to the second nail polish tutorial at Polished. This tutorial is going to be on how to do galaxy nails, which I did for my last design for the 51 design challenge. I thought it was really difficult at first to do this design, but after looking on Google for tutorials and techniques and everything, I kind of figured out one that works easiest for me. It's basically just using sponges to layer nail polish on top of each other to get a cool look. I have one already completed right here, and I'm going to show you how to do one like that. You can see the difference. I started out with a kind of a shimmery blue base, and it turns out looking like this. It looks darker, and it's got black on there, as well as some shimmery golds and purples. What you're going to start with is your black. You could do a black base coat, but I didn't think that my colors would show up very well in a black base coat, so I started with a blue one, and I'm kind of going to do black around the edges. What you need are kitchen sponges or makeup sponges. I actually recommend a makeup sponge, as kitchen sponges don't work as well. So you have a kitchen sponge like this. I already have some nail polish on this one, but I would suggest using one that is brand new. And then a tweezers, and you put the tweezer with the sponge like this. You dab it into your nail polish, and I'm using some paper towels underneath to catch any drips or anything that I do. And with the black, you just start dabbing around the top and the edges, which is what I'm doing here. Trying to create a good border for our galaxy. And don't worry too much if when you're doing this it gets onto your skin or anything, because you can clean it up, and it's easier just to not worry and get it on your skin versus worry and everything like that and then not be able to, get what you want done because you're scared of getting it onto your skin. These layers, depending on how thick you get the nail polish, shouldn't take very long to dry, but even if you don't wait for it to be completely dry, that's alright, because it'll just be easier for blending, and kind of a gradiated blended look is what we're going for with this. What you do then is, I'm taking a little bit of a lighter blue, it's kind of a shimmery thin blue, and take a new sponge, dab it in there, and kind of dab the color in the middle, blending it into the black as well as into your base. What I do is, with the edge of the sponge that I haven't used for nail polish, I will use to kind of blend. You can tell the difference. It's not a very, it doesn't punch you in the face with how much of a difference it is. It's kind of subtle, which is good because, you don't want anything looking too out of place, or it won't look blended and it won't look gradated, and I don't think it will look very space-like. You're just kind of looking for a smooth gradation of color. Next, I'm going to take a little bit of a lighter blue that's also a bit of a different shade. You can use any colors you want, it doesn't have to be blue. And black, you could use purples, pinks, greens, whatever you want. This is just going for a more traditional look, but you could do this with anything. Then I'm just going to take this and dab it right in the middle of my lighter blue. Do a little bit of blending. You can see that the middle is a little bit lighter. You could stop here if you wanted it to be all blue, but what I'm doing is I'm going for kind of a more colorful look with maybe like a nebula or something like that, or stuff like that. And I'm going to use some purple and gold just to accent. I'm taking a pretty bright light purple. It's not light necessarily, but it's not as dark as some of the other colors. And sparingly dab it around the edge here. There's really no way to mess this up because you're just dabbing, and any and all mistakes are easily fixed just by, going with it and putting colors on top of each other. It's kind of hard to see because I did it over the black. Plus it's not a very, thick color, but you can tell that there's some purple there, kind of causing a gradient to happen. And now I'm going to take a darker purple that's mostly sparkles and dab that over the top just to darken it up, make it blend in more, and give it some more depth. I think that adding glitter to this kind of manicure really creates depth because it creates speckles the sizes you can't, it'd be hard to make or really meticulous to make, and other colors that you wouldn't necessarily have. So I'm dabbing this over the top of the purple using the side of my sponge to blot. It's not very noticeable, but it creates an effect that will be noticeable. Lastly, I'm going to take some gold to kind of create the lighter part of the nebula. And I'm taking a fairly small piece of sponge so I can get more detail. And I'm just gonna turn this a little bit so it's easier for me, but dab around the outside and blend it into the purple a bit. And go along the side to create our design. You can tell how it turns kind of from gold to purple, and I think it looks really cool. You could leave it at this, or to make it look like space, we need to have stars. So I'm taking some Art Deco type of white polish. You could use a more expensive polish, but the Art Deco polishes go over light or dark colors better, from what I've experienced. What you do then is I'm taking my smallest size, actually, I'm going to take my smallest size dotting tool, which is this one, and you could use a toothpick for this or the end of a pin, anything that's really small, because you don't want these stars to be too big or it looks weird in my opinion, and just start dabbing stars around the nail. Don't worry about it too much. Kind of try to create some varying sizes, small and big. I usually keep the bigger stars in the lighter area because they blend in better, and then try to do smaller stars in the darker areas. And don't add too many, otherwise it might look strange. But kind of just, don't overthink it or you'll make it look weird. And I think I need one more in the middle here. And that, in essence, is how you make a galaxy design on your nail. On mine, I added some glitter over the top of it. As you can see, I'll move this aside. And I have different designs on each nail. This one has a pretty large nebula kind of thing on it, while this one has a smaller one, and this one just is blue and purple. There's no gold on it at all. These two are pretty much the same, the ones that I did, but you can tell that they're still different. Each design is going to be different because you're not going to be able to reproduce it on the same thing on every nail, which is okay, because it makes it look more unique and different, and each galaxy design you do will be a little bit different. I would think it would look really cool with more pink and purple in it, maybe even some green, but that's all up to you and your preferences. So, that's how you do a galaxy nail, and I wish you the best of luck making your fingernails cosmic.